Thank you for everyone. This has been a really good last weekly insider of 2020. I do have some things that I wanted to share with everyone. So we are scaling down ops, as you heard Lucy mention and Rosario mention, scaling them down towards a holiday schedule. So just be cognizant of that over the next couple of weeks. We still will be around, and critical ops and development will be continuing, but we're going to be scaling down on anything that's not essential to give the team a little bit of time off and you, the community, as well. So last week I talked about everything we've accomplished in 2020, or at least a big recap. Talked about challenges, talked about COVID, talked about price fluctuations, and I talked about our accomplishments. So I'm not going to go through all of those in detail again, but just want to refer to you guys to the last weekly insider if you want to go through that. But for this time, what I want to do is just kind of even higher level, just big picture, what was 2020 to us and what's 2021 going to look like? And the big thing for us, what we focused on in 2020 was, what are we building? And we were focusing on building. And what we were doing was going from a white paper concept to a design, and then from a design to a plan, and then we started building. And we delivered significant, massive amount of code that actually works in our beta product. And this is what we delivered: Zendu beta with an SDK in beta to a parallel testnet in July. It was an enormous delivery, the biggest delivery in our history, in our three-plus year history. Now, what we're doing in combination with continuing on that development path is now we're focusing or adding another layer to it, is who will use what we're building. And that's what we've been focusing on in this last quarter. And the BD updates that you're hearing, these partnerships and new integrations and so forth, these are the things that we're doing in parallel to start building out the ecosystem, answering that question, who will use what we're building? And we're doing it in parallel to the actual final building. And it's been an enormous success, actually much more of a success than we realized. We refocused our BD team, retooled them, hired, brought Caspers online. And now you've got a team that's just small, professional, and hyper-focused on exactly what I think we need to be doing, which is building out the ecosystem on the user side and the partner side, and getting people to actually start experimenting with our technology, our product, and start building in the Horizon ecosystem. So the vision here, guys, is when we actually deliver Zendu to mainnet, and we have what we're calling a de-risked plan of getting Zendu to mainnet on time, on schedule, in the completing delivery end of Q1, and then doing all the code audits and the testing and migrations from parallel testnets to mainnet. All that work's going to happen clustered around the middle of next year. But when that happens, we're going to be bringing to market all of these partnerships, all of these use cases, and a massive amount of demand for the technology that we're building right now. So we're not just taking that field of dreams approach of build it and they will come, and just hoping that cool technology is going to bring people in. Cool technology and an amazing team that's really aggressive on I don't know if you want to call it like on point, just always being able to get out there, work with partners, is attracting a lot of interest into our ecosystem. And this is huge, and it's something that's going to have a big impact in 2021. Now, of course, money markets count too, and we've had a wildly volatile year when it comes to our finances, with a nearly 80% drawdown from peak to trough on the price of Zen. And you guys who have been following these weekly insiders understand very clearly that our budget for the foundation, and therefore a major part of the ecosystem, is denominated in Zen that goes into our treasury. And when Zen takes an 80% nosedive from peak to trough, that's an 80% nosedive in our operating budget. So it's been really tough, and we've had to cope with it by descoping entire functions from our operations, and unfortunately having to scale down team to do that. It's been an extremely painful process, but through grit, sheer determination, and just relentless action on our part, we've stuck with it. And we've, like Rolf said, I think the market environment has shifted. So not that I want to call any place that we are in a market cycle, because, well, let me knock on wood. It's too critical and too sensitive, right? I don't want to jinx us. But we've been able to stick with a lot of hardship, and during this entire phase, we've been able to bring in an extra $500,000 in investment capital, VC capital, into our ecosystem to fund and launch pipeline marketing, which is doing a phenomenal job on attracting or working on our user growth. There's just a lot of confidence and a lot of determination has gone into just maintaining the ship, keeping it on course in 2020, it's been a tough year, but the key takeaways that I have out of all of this is we are a team that delivers, period. That's what we do. We've assembled a fantastic group of professionals, and we're just methodically going forward on our plans and delivering. And we're doing it across the board in many dimensions right now. From tech to product to BD, it's really all cylinders operating, and we're doing a really good job. So we are delivering also technology that will change the industry. It's not years off, it's 2021 off. Right? So this is something, just take a moment, think about it over the holidays. We've been going from concept to design to building developments now for the last 2 years on this product, and we're getting ready to imminently deliver this to mainnet. So this is huge. It's something to really consider. And then the third pillar here is on the community side. And now it's time for the community to step up like they have. And we've mentioned this several times over the last few weekly insiders, but it was awesome to see the Happening Party that was completely run and operated by the community. The Horizon Community Council is starting to breathe life and come together. And I have high expectations for the coming year. So you guys, what we can make a commitment to you now is that you have a core team that will never give up, has some of the best talent in the industry, it is incredibly motivated. But in 2021, we have to have a transition year. What I want to see is a transition year where we diversify the ecosystem with all of this wave of new partnerships. We're going to keep pushing that hard, but you guys can also, reach out to anyone that you know is in the space and may want to build it, within our ecosystem. We're going to continue to build out developer interest in our ecosystem, and we're going to continue to deliver our technology. So you have businesses, investments, capital inflows, everything that sets the stage for strong foundation. For now, we need to build out community leaders, and they need to you guys need to carve out your own niches and build out this ecosystem as well with us. So 2021, I would love to see, this is the year where HCC, the Community Council, explodes. I would love us to have just a collective focus on good governance and really think deeply about what this means. This isn't just the foundation or Horizon Labs or pipeline marketing, funding projects and building things, putting together project plans. Governance really affects everything that we do. It's at the protocol level with consensus all the way to every human being that participates in our ecosystem and how we collectively come together, some decisions, allocate resources, and plan our future. So I want broader participation, and we need to decentralize this. So the vision from the beginning has always been to mature our technology and our ecosystem so that it can run itself. And we're finally getting to the point, rhetoric aside, that the technology is just about there. And now we need to think about the human elements of this, because tech is one part, and setting the rules of the game, the protocol, the code that goes into our consensus, all of this is huge. We'll have a voting system as well. There will be a big infrastructure project that we'll get to when after we deliver Zendu to mainnet. But there are other elements of this on governance that really matter. Things like the Zenith process that we started this year, and quite frankly, we need to do a better job ourselves of adhering to. But future projects should include a Zen improvement proposal before we actually get to developing and resourcing projects. And we need to think about everything else we do in terms of carving out community leadership roles so that this can really become a machine that runs itself, that's more decentralized. And then we can continue decentralizing resources and decision-making as we go. But I want 2021 to be that inflection point. And we're going to be delivering the technology that makes it possible on a really big level, on the resource allocation and decision-making level for doing things like community voting. But we need to also cultivate the soft, call it the soft, like social technologies of the people that are behind the project, the people that become community leaders, and how we contribute together, how we make decisions, and just how we achieve the human consensus that accompanies the software consensus in this ecosystem. So anyway, guys, I close off the year here by saying that we should have a lot of confidence in what we're doing without arrogance, because we're actually delivering. Just like professionals, we just deliver what we say we're going to deliver, and we've been at this for a number of years, and we're going to keep at it. So let's take stock of where we've come from, be proud of where we are, and excited for where we're going. So again, be safe over the holidays. Thank you for being part of this big adventure. It's really just getting warmed up and getting to be a lot of fun. And make sure you tell everyone about Horizon over the holidays. Perfect time, right? Talk to your friends and family. But guys, thank you for that. I'll close it out here. We can open it up to any Q&A.